are going to learn today another new concept, that is not note taking. We have already done with note making. Note making is you read a paragraph and answer the questions shortly in a phrase or in a short sentence. But when it comes to note taking, it's a listening skill, it's not a writing skill, it's a listening skill. The teacher will read a paragraph for you. You have to listen it once. Before reading the paragraph, she will give you some questions. When she reads the paragraph, you need to listen carefully, listen to her carefully, and answer the questions that she has given. So let us now look at the introduction part of note taking. This skill helps the learner coordinate listening with comprehension. Good listening abilities help assimilate important information from lectures. Students identify crucial details of what is being read out and answer questions or fill in the given format. Now, why this is important? Because now you are going to higher education. Nobody will dictate notes for you as they did in smaller classes. What you have to do is you have to listen to the lectures, then come home and write the notes, write your own notes, or after the lecture or during the lecture you need to make the notes. Sometimes lecturers will be fast, sometimes they are slow. You can't tell the lecturers to go slowly because you are in a higher education now. That is why note taking skill is very important. Listening skill is very important. Now, students look at the pre-listening questions provided so that they can focus on the relevant details while listening to the text. Now, what you have to do is, while going through these exercises, I will be giving you few questions which you have to write down in your notebook. Then, I am going to read a paragraph for you once or twice. You have to listen to that paragraph. You have to close your slide first of all. In order to be very genuine and true, you have to close the slide. I will be reading a paragraph for you and you have to answer the questions that I will be giving you. First of all, I will give you the questions. I read the paragraph for you. While I read the paragraph for you, you answer those questions. While teachers read aloud and slowly, students note down the answers. This is to be followed by a discussion in the class. Okay, I am going to give you few questions. Please write down the questions first. How old was the grandmother? First question. How old was the grandmother? You are not going to read the passage now. Passage will be read by the teacher. Second question would be, what was the interest of the 70-year-old professor? What was the interest of the 70-year-old professor? Third question, mention the reasons for which people join distance education courses. Mention the reasons for which people join distance education courses. Next question, how do most people pay for the courses? How do most people pay for the courses? Okay, now I am going to read the paragraph. I will be reading it twice. Please do not look into the paragraph. You have to listen to me and answer the questions that I have given you. Distance education is giving education a second chance. A 65-year-old grandmother who wanted to study literature was in the class. Then there was a 60-year-old professor who was interested in a comparative study of different Indian languages. There are many such examples. People join the course for reasons like promotions, better job opportunities, etc. But all these students come to study because they want to and most earn to pay for it. I am going to read the passage once again slowly. Distance education is giving education a second chance. A 65-year-old grandmother who wanted to study literature was in the class. Then there was a 70-year-old professor who was interested in a comparative study of different Indian languages. There are many such examples. People join the course for reasons like promotions, better job opportunities, etc. But all these students come to study because they want to, and most earn to pay it. I hope you have written down the answers for the questions that have been given to you. Now let us discuss. How old was grandmother? So the grandmother was 65-year-old. Next question. What was the interest of the 70-year-old professor? His interest was in a comparative study of different Indian languages. Comparative study of different Indian languages. Mention the reasons for which people join distance education courses. Reasons like promotions, better job opportunities, etc. How do most people pay for the courses? They earn to pay for it. Means they work for it. They work and pay their fees. Okay, hope you have got all the answers rightly. You are moving into second paragraph. I will give you the questions first. Write down the questions. Who is termed a superwoman? Who is termed a superwoman? She provides dash time for her children. What problems does she face? What problems does she face? And the fourth question, how does she make herself invaluable? How does she make herself invaluable? I am going to read the passage for you. A working woman has often been termed a superwoman. She balances both the family and workplace. She has to provide quality time for her children, manage the house, and satisfy the demands at the workplace. Several times she suffers discrimination both in the family and at work. But she does not let all this affect her and continues to work, thus making her role invaluable. I am going to read the passage once again. Please answer the questions. A working woman has often been termed a superwoman. She balances both the family and workplace. She has to provide quality time to her children, manage the house, and satisfy the demands at the workplace. Several times she suffers discrimination both in the family and at work, but she does not let all this affect her and continues to work, thus making her role invaluable. Hope you answered the questions. Who is termed a superwoman? A working woman is termed as a superwoman. She provides dashed time to her children. She provides quality time to her children. What problems does she face? Providing quality time to her children, managing the house, and satisfying the demands at the workplace. So these are the problems she faces daily. How does she make herself invaluable? She doesn't allow any discrimination to affect her, but she goes on doing her work. Thus she makes her presence invaluable. Okay. Hope you have got all the answers right. I will be giving you few more questions of the third passage. Write down the questions. Which is one of the most beautiful beaches of Karnataka? Which is one of the most beautiful beaches of Karnataka? Mention the name of the river. Mention the name of the river. How are the islands covered? How are the islands covered? Next, how are the villages ferried? How are the villages ferried? I'm going to read the passage slowly. The Maravante beach is one of the most beautiful beaches of Karnataka. Here the river Saparnika joins the Arabian Sea. There are several islands which are covered with palm trees and mangroves in this area. Small boats ferry villages between these islands. A huge and attractive temple is located on the banks of the river. I am reading the passage once again. The Maravante beach is one of the most beautiful beaches of Karnataka. Here, the river Saparnika joins the Arabian Sea. There are several islands which are covered with palm trees and mangroves in this area. Small boats ferry villages between these islands. A huge and attractive temple is located on the banks of the river. Okay, which is the answer for first question? Which is one of the most beautiful beaches of Karnataka? We are referring here Maravante beach. Mention the name of the river. The river name is Saparnika. How are the islands covered? Islands covered with palm trees and mangroves. How are the villages ferried? The villages are ferried by the small boats. Okay, this is called as listening skill. This is note taking. When the teacher reads the paragraph, you have to listen carefully and then answer the questions. Now we are going to move into some of the integrated exercises. Dear students, we are going to move to some of the integrated exercises that have been given at the end of your textbook, course book. These are very, very important for you on the view of examination, because if you go through these exercises thoroughly, then you will get a pattern of how you are going to get exam questions. So let us now proceed. I will be doing now some of the exercises in this video, then few other exercises will be in the next video. Look at the notes given below and complete the paragraph that follows by choosing the correct options. So read the passage carefully, the words given to you carefully, then fill in the passage. Egyptians discovered paper made of stalks of tall reed. From the word papyrus, supplies limited, export restricted. The dash Egyptians, it dash. The English word paper dash, when supplies were limited dash, export. Okay, first question, options have been given. The dash Egyptians. First one, discovery of paper has been made by the discovery of the paper was made by, discovery of paper was made by the, discovery of paper is made by. So, which is correct option will be here? You can't say the paper, we don't say. So, discovery of paper has been made by, it can't be because of the tense that has been used in the paragraph. That is a present perfect tense, which is not used and not suitable in this case. Then second one, discovery of paper was made by, the is not used. Since for Egyptians we use the or the, we can't use that option also. Third option, discovery of paper was made by the, since all the conditions are met in this third option, so third option will be the correct one. Fourth, discovery of paper is made by, the is missing there, so third option will be the correct option for this one. Next, it dash was made from stalks of reed. Now we are talking about paper. Had been made with stalks of reed, was being made by stalks of reed, was made with stalks from reed. So was made from stalks of reed. Had been was made, that is in past simple past tense, and the paragraph also is in simple past tense. Second one, had been made with stalks of reed, that is past perfect tense. Was being made of stalks of reed, that is present continuous tense, and was made with the stalks from reed. We don't say with the, we have to say from. That is the correct proposition there, from. So the option 1 will be the correct option. Next question will be, the English word paper dash derived from the word papyrus, is derived from the word papyrus, has been derived from the word papyrus, was derived from the word papyrus. Since this is a law, okay, natural, it's not natural law, it is a fact. When you are talking about fact, we use simple present tense, okay. It cannot be changed into any other tense when you are talking about a truth. So here, derived from the word papyrus, simple past tense. So since it is simple past tense, it can't be. Is derived from the word papyrus, simple present tense. Then has been derived from the word papyrus, it is a present perfect tense, and was derived from the word papyrus, past tense. Okay. Now here you have to use passive voice, since it is the subject is passive here. So the correct option will be the second option, is derived from the word papyrus. Next one. Fourth question, when supplies were limited dash export and a restriction was imposed on, or restriction was being imposed on, or restriction has been imposed on, or restriction was imposed on. Since the entire paragraph is in second simple past tense, so we have to go here for simple past tense. Let us see which sentence is in simple past tense. And a restriction was imposed on, this also simple past tense, but there and is not necessary. When supplies were limited, if you use and there is no meaning in and. Or restriction was being imposed on, this is in present past continuous tense. Or restriction has been imposed on, that is in present perfect tense. Or restriction was imposed on will be simple past tense. So since the paragraph is in simple past tense, we are going for simple past tense, that is a restriction was imposed on. So you have to look into the paragraph in which tense it is, then you have to look for the correct option. Then we will go to any next exercise that is there in your course book. The duration of autumn vacation for the schools of Delhi NCR dash due to the Commonwealth Games going to be held in Delhi in October 2010. So has been rescheduled. Here has cannot because vacation. Okay, occasion is, since occasion is singular, you have to use a singular tense. That then next is have rescheduled cannot be because vacation is singular. Has rescheduled is not the correct option here, and have been rescheduled also cannot be. So the correct option will be has been rescheduled. Next one, read the following, here one more was left out. Many shops with ready for export products worth rupees 1 crore dash in the fire that broke out in Okla district yesterday. Was gutted, were gutted, had gutted, is gutted. So we are talking about rupees. Rupees is plural. There are many rupees. So what will be the correct answer here? Was gutted becomes singular, were gutted is plural, had gutted is past perfect, which doesn't suit in this tense. Is gutted also is a plural tense, singular tense. So which will be the correct option for this? Were gutted will be the correct option for this. So we have seen some how to match the verbs, correct form of verbs to the sentences that were given. This has been already done for you, subject verb agreement, in that lesson, in that class. You have to go through it if you are not thorough with it. So let's continue the other exercises in the coming classes.